Hello, this is Fan, and you are watching MLB Mondays.
What's going on, sports fans? It is the Big Puma, aka
B-Bay.
And right off the bat, I want to thank Fan for doing that little voice intro there at the beginning. If you don't know who Fan is, he's a Machinist sports director. He does all the Road to the Show and NCAA stuff. He is awesome. Thank you again for doing that. So as you can see, is the fifth game for Buck in the AAA on the Oklahoma City Redhawks, and his first at bat against the Salt Lake City Bees. He drills it down the first base line, rattles it up in the corner, and gets out there on second base. And he makes a bad decision, almost goes to third, but he thinks better of it, gets on back to second base. Now, same game, bottom of the eighth, the Oklahoma City Redhawks are down by 1. Buck gets a low fastball. He takes a swing at it, gets it down there between first and second base, gets himself a single, and he says, nope, I'm just kidding. He gets himself a good at-bat. So he is on first base, is 0-2 for the batter. Buck's leaning a little far off the base, then the guy and the pitcher throws him out at first base. That's going to be it for that game. He finishes it 2-4. Now, game 6, as you can see his stats right there against the Sacramento River Cats. Outside, Buck gets a walk, first at bat. So he's going to take his walk. He's going to run off to first base. Top of the 8th, we are down 2. It is 1-1. The guy on first, Buck takes a shot at it and rips it out to center field and gets it to drop right before the center fielder. And he's leaning off on first base, and he gets himself a single. He finishes that game 1-3. Now, this is just to show you right here, we are ranked 9th in home runs with 38. And so we've got some work to do. 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 321 in the 7th game. This is also against the Sacramento River Cats. And Buck's at top of the 8th, 0-2 after going 0-4 for the game. Two men on base. We're up 4-1. Buck says, goodbye. And he cranks it off. And that now the team has 39 home runs. Thank you, Jesus. Buck wanders on back to the dugout. And we'll take a look at the replay.
Ugh. And he's a strike away from getting out of this unscored upon. But you can see the location mistake there. And now, all of a sudden, he goes from possibly hanging a goose egg to serving up a 3-run.
So there you go. He goes 1 for 5 with that, and his one hit was a 3-run shot over to right field. This is the 8th game, also against the Sacramento River Cats. It's the top of the 4th, 1-2, men on first. Oklahoma City's up 5-1. Buck shoots it opposite field, bounces off the wall, and he would have gotten to third base, but his first base runner makes a smart decision on holding up to see what happens, and he gets over to second base. Now, same game, top of the 9th, we are up by 1. It misses by the pitcher. It goes by as the center fielder throws the ball in to the second baseman. Now, Buck's on second base, 2-2, no outs. Guy's on first and second, and his teammate shoots it down there into left field. Buck brings it on home, slides over, and scores another run for the Redhawks. Good job, Buck. His 9th game, his average is 289, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. You can see there he's got a 5-game hitting streak. We are playing against the Sacramento River Cats once again. Top of the first, 2-1, 2 outs. Boom! Buck takes a big shot out there to right field. It bounces up against the wall opposite field. Buck makes it into second base without the throw coming to him. That was a nice shot by Buck. Let's take a look at the replay.
Well, you'll see how late he is on this fastball. I mean, he nearly takes this out of the catcher's glove, but somehow he's able to steer it fair down the line. And
that is a nice show motion view. It's 3-2, no outs. Guys on first and second. The game is tied in the top of the 3rd. Boom! Buck takes a shot, bounces it between shortstop and third base. He stops at first, but the guy that was on second goes ahead and takes off towards home and scores another run. He scores a run, and that makes it 2-1. Good job keeping an eye on the ball and making aware of what's going on. Now, the next batter, he shoots a ball up the first base line. The first baseman catches it and wisely throws it towards home to catch Buck, and now Buck's in a pickle. He's going back and forth. The catcher and the pitcher are making good moves at there at home, and he doesn't turn around in time, and he gets tagged out, trying to make it home, trying to get out of that pickle. It doesn't seem to work. This replay here shows a little bit of it. That was very smart play by the first baseman. Don't give up that run, and Buck is out. It's the top of the 5th, 0-1. The Redhawks are up 4-1. Buck has a nice pitch right down the middle, and he shoots it back up there between third and shortstop, and he gathers himself another single. He's going to go ahead and stay there on first base. He's pretty happy about that. Now, that causes the opposite team to call in a new pitcher. The coach says, hey, Buck, I want you to go ahead and steal second base. Brian Bogusevic comes up, and I just realized I've been calling that man Scott Bogusevic this whole time. Anyway, Brian Bogusevic is up. Buck takes his step towards second base, and the pitcher throws the ball. Buck takes off. The catcher throws it towards second base, and it gets past him. Buck jumps up, wisely runs over to third base. He's down and safe. Now we're going to see a replay here of somewhat of a better view of what actually happened. Pitcher fires that ball down there. The catcher cleanly catches it, jumps up, throws it over to second base. It takes a hop and throws the second baseman off, and it rolls off into center field, which gives Buck the opportunity to make it over to third base safely. So like I said, that will be a stolen base and an error on the catcher's part. Now Buck's on third base. It is the top of the fifth, 4-1, and his teammate blasts one up to center field. Buck wisely waits on it to make sure he's not going to get in that pickle again. He scores another run for the Red Hawks. How about a hug, Blue? Oh, I love it. All right, now it's the top of the seventh. We're up 7-1. There's a low inside pitch, and Buck blasts it right back to the pitcher, and it goes off into center field. Buck gets himself another single, which makes it 4 hits for him. He makes a bad decision on the pop-up. He goes back to second base, thinks he can run it out. Center fielder throws him out at third base and guns him down. But that doesn't change anything. It is 7-2. Bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. This is their last chance to try to rally a comeback, and he pops it out to center field, and Buck gathers it up, and that's going to be the end of the ball game. Pitcher's pumped up. The team is pumped up. That was a nice win by the Oklahoma City Red Hawks. They're out in the outfield celebrating. Guys, I want to appreciate you for watching this video. I want to appreciate Nodis Fan for once again for that voice intro, and we're going to take a look at the player of the game, and I will catch you next week for episode number 7 with everybody's favorite center fielder, Buck McGraw, on MLB Mondays. AMF.
And as we wrap things up here, what do you say we name this guy right here as the recipient of our Topps Player of the Game award?
Well, Matt, he really led the way in this one. A 4-hit game, and he was certainly one of the cogs in the machine here in this one.
Forget every little bit I've ever bitchin', cause the bitchin' it would make us friends. And when kids make friends with the pen, the kids then feel as if they're attending school, but my attendance is full to the brim of the cup. Tell your friends I'm taking it to the rim by the bus, let it spin, letting up ain't in my lens. Independent of a limit, in other words, giving in ain't written in a vision. Who'd have thought I'd see another horizon? I've come to defy the plan.